Rich Lerner of the Golf Channel joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show again. How are you doing, Rich?
I'm doing great, Rich. What a final round that was.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I mean, it was like match play pretty much for the final 14 holes.
Yeah. You know, how about this? You guys play golf. A lot of your audience plays golf. They shot 59 best ball. They won the B flight by 56 shots.
I like it. Wow. I like it. I like it, Rich.
You know what? Like, to compare it to other sports, I was just trying to think. I mean, it had sort of elements of bird and magic, but we were looking at Jack Morris going 10 innings to beat John Smoltz in Game 7 of the World Series in 1991. You know, where the other, Smoltz does almost everything right but loses. In this case, Mickelson did everything right, or he did nothing wrong. How about that? He starts the day one shot back, and you go shoot 65 with 4 birdies and an eagle, no bogeys, and you lose by 3? That's absurd. It had elements of Federer losing to Djokovic at Wimbledon 2 years ago in 5 sets. It was just a case of 2 great players, great athletes at the absolute pinnacle of their games. And they brought it all yesterday. And one guy was just too good. And 10 birdies is almost hard to fathom out there.
Yeah, it is, Rich. And seeing the number of times that Mickelson's been a runner-up just recalls the time when he was the proverbial best player to not win a major. I think that's probably when he racked up most of those second-place finishes,
well,
right?
It could be a dubious distinction to say you finished runner-up 11 times at majors, but in this case, I think it's actually a hallmark of greatness over the long run. I mean, he's now second on that list. He went ahead of Arnold Palmer, who had 10 runner-up finishes at the majors, and second to Jack. Jack had 19 runner-up finishes to go with his 18 wins. So that just tells you that he's been great over the long haul, and he consistently puts himself in position, which I think is one of Phil's most admirable qualities. And even at 46, Rich, and this is unusual, it can only really happen in golf. At 46, Mickelson is kind of getting better, and he loves the chase. He loves everything about it. And he's relentless, and he puts himself in position where he knows there will be times where he's going to fail spectacularly, and he has at Winged Foot in 06, at Marion in 2013, and he has an ability to pack up his suitcases, and he has baggage, Phil, and he just goes to the next stop, and he's so entertaining. I mean, I always say majors are better when he's in contention.
Oh, there's no question.
Because he's exciting. He's so exciting. And to your question, I heard you batting it around. Who's the face of golf?
Yeah,
it's a good question right now. I mean, this was I don't even know how to answer that right now. I will say this: this was not a great week for the kids, for the young men. This was a week for the grown men, and I'm not simply talking about what they did on Sunday, which was electric. I'm talking about the way they handled themselves and presented themselves and the sport to the public at large. Rory with his comments that he'll watch sports in the Olympics that matter. I would say hold your tongue if you feel that way. I know we applaud honesty, but that one didn't sit well in a lot of corners. And, Jordan looked, as though he was pleading with the press to go easy on him. And I understand where he's coming from. I mean, every day you come off the golf course, and if you don't shoot 68, they're asking you what's wrong. Why aren't you winning majors? It comes with the territory. And then there's the whole Olympic matter. I don't know that we have time to get into it here. Well, I just don't think it was a great week for the youngsters. And last year we were tripping all over ourselves celebrating this group, but this is just the way the game goes. It's a hard game, and Tiger spoiled everybody, with 10 years of just annihilating everybody, and it was consistent.
Rich, and that's why I'm still thinking he's the face of golf right now. Tiger Woods is still the face of golf because even just today, Rich.
person, yes.
Even
The average
just
person would say golf, you'd say Tiger Woods. But Tiger's, I don't know that I agree 100% with that. He's the face for people who don't follow it week in, week out.
But that said, Rich,
a football fan. Yeah, go ahead.
That said, though, okay, we're looking at Phil's runner-up appearance today, from yesterday, today, wondering what's Tiger maybe thinking about seeing a 46-year-old man doing that, or there are many who are saying maybe Phil's career winds up better than Tiger's because Tiger may not have the longevity that we're watching Phil come up with. So even Phil's accomplishments are being viewed through a Tiger prism.
Fun subject to discuss, and we did get into it a little bit in the compound this week. You could imagine Tiger sitting at home, and we're just supposing here, and having to watch one of his rivals, Phil Mickelson, bask in all of this glory, not just this past week, but potentially for the next 5 to 7 years. Phil's going to poke his head and into the picture. His swing is long enough. His desire is there. His touch is still good. Phil will contend at majors potentially for the next 7 or 8 years, and you could imagine that would gall Tiger. We don't know for sure. And will he have the career that Tiger had? He'll never get close to Tiger's numbers, 14 majors and 79 wins. Phil's at 5 and 42. That's not going to happen. But he'll enjoy a longer run with more showering of public affection. And so from that standpoint, yes. But I don't think he'll have a better career than Tiger's. But look, it takes a long time, and I think what we're seeing with Jordan and with Rory is this role of ambassador. I don't know that they're ready yet for that. That takes seasoning. That takes experience. Rory seems to be kind of lashing out a little bit. Like I've for 7 years I've been telling the world what I think they want to hear. Now I'm going to let you know what I think. Okay, that's well and good, but if what you think is going to potentially kill the Olympic golf movement, then I would say think about what you're going to say, because in that case you're hurting the hopes of a lot of other people who are invested in it, who feel differently than you, and not to mention that it's different than what he said 2 months ago, and maybe he was towing the party line at that point. And there's a lot of disappointment in this sport with the top 4 players in the world not going to Rio, and golf's jumping back in for the first time in more than 100 years. And there's just a sense that they just don't want to do it, which is all well and good, I guess, if that's the way you feel. I personally think it's short-sighted. I think they're missing an opportunity here, but that's just me.
And I hear you too. I hear you too, Rich. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Enjoy Carnoustie this week, okay?
Thank you, Rich.
You got
Take
it.
care.
You bet. That's Rich Lerner of the Golf Channel.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.